Brown far outshafted Shaft in Slaughter. Where Shaft wisecracked, Slaughter attacked. Where Shaft attacked, Slaughter killed. In many ways, Slaughter was the first true blaxploitation film, as it was produced by the white studio bosses of American International Pictures purely to exploit the spending power of black cinema goers. Where Sweetback was an artistic piece of guerrilla filmmaking, and Shaft was a standard private eye flick with a coloured hero, Slaughter was always intended as a full-on sex and violence blockbuster with a black star, and it didn't disappoint. Slaughter was such a success that its sequel was rushed out the following year. Slaughter's big rip-off was more of the same, Jim Brown having sex and beating up evil honkies. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And soon Big Jim was joined by some other super bad brothers. Jim Kelly was a natural choice for black action roles, especially after his impressive performance in Enter the Dragon. So it was no surprise when the production team behind Bruce Lee's kung fu epic saw Kelly's potential and immediately launched him into the first, and undeniably the best, blaxploitation martial arts crossover flick, Black Belt Jones. Unfortunately, Jim Kelly dropped the ball as regards to career moves and made little use of the huge success of Black Belt Jones. He appeared in a succession of increasingly awful Z-grade movies such as Black Samurai, Black Eliminator and Hot Potato. Though Kelly faded quickly from view as a black action hero, some stars had far more prolific careers. Jim Brown, Fred Williamson was another ex-American football player who made the jump to big screen success courtesy of the blaxploitation boom. Slightly more flamboyant than Jim beat-em-up Brown, and with a better agent than Jim Kelly, Williamson chomped on foot-length cigars, satisfied queues of women, and cracked heads in a constant succession of action movies. When the Blaxplo boom hit, Williamson was ready, and his first black action flick, Hammer, landed him with a nickname that stuck. After Hammer, Fred moved on to two slave on a rampage westerns, the glaringly titled Legend of Nigger Charlie and its sequel, The Soul of Nigger Charlie. Both were big successes which put Williamson on the map, but real success for the Hammer was just beginning. Black Caesar was a gangster flick intended to capitalise on the success of The Godfather. Originally it was written for Sammy Davis Jr., but in retrospect it's hard to imagine anyone other than Fred Williamson in the role. Black Caesar was a big success, and immediately followed by a sequel, Hell Up in Harlem.
The Godfather of Harlem is doing it again. In Black Caesar, he ate up the town. Now, he's hungry for more. More action. More excitement. More everything.
Oh, say, can you see by the early light?
Isn't it great to be in America?
Fred Williamson is back, and there's gonna be hell up in Harlem.
With Fred fastly becoming a major star in the blaxploitation genre, a slew of headlining movies followed, such as Three Tough Guys, Boss Nigger, and Black Eye. Always an intelligent businessman, Jim also moved into movie making with his own company, Po' Boy Productions. But one of the high points of his career must be when he teamed up with Jim Brown and Jim Kelly in the blaxploitation action masterclass that is Three the Hard Way.
They kidnap women, they kill poor house, but not before they let part of the secret out.
Although initial blaxploitation flicks were groundbreaking in terms of presenting strong black heroes, their characterisation often relied on stale Hollywood stock figures, such as cops, private eyes, soldiers, and generally people on the right side of the tracks. Even Fred Williamson's Black Caesar was simply a 1930s style crime doesn't pay fable. Sweet Sweetback stood alone as the sole representative of the underworld. That is, until Gordon Parks Jr. decided to make a film financed in part by real street hoods. As if using real-life gangsters as co-producers was not radical enough, this film was about a drug dealer who takes on the law and wins. Superfly proved that the blaxploitation genre could still provide a flick as low-budget, innovative and controversial as Sweetback. Youngblood Priest, convincingly played by Ron O'Neill, is a top drug dealer who is becoming sick of the dope trade. He plans one last score, which will allow him to retire and stick it to the cops. Like Shaft, Superfly relied on a fantastic soundtrack to carry the film. Curtis Mayfield provided the sounds, which sold by the box load and yielded 2 massive selling singles. Though Superfly was a great success and spawned an inevitable sequel, Superfly TNT, the glorification of drug peddlers was just too radical for 70s America. Soon the spotlight fell on the more respectable underworld trade of pimping. The pimpin' or mackin' movie became an important sub-genre of the blaxploitation boom. Pimps were the real heroes on the block, flamboyant, colourful and stacked with street knowledge. However, despite their continuous exploitation of women, moviegoers seemed to love the celluloid pimp, and he moved from being a bit part baddie in the flicks to the star of the show.